I just had a great conversation with Hall of Fame referee Joe Cortez. This is going to be a great podcast for you boxing fans because did you know they're actually using instant replay during fights here in Nevada? We hadn't heard about it, so of course we had to call Mr. Fair But Firm and get the lowdown because he actually is one of those replay referees for the Nevada Boxing Commission. Now, make sure you like and subscribe and comment below because I know you boxing heads have opinions about this. Is it going to disrupt the flow? Is it good for the sport? We want to hear you, and now you can enjoy my interview with Joe Cortez. Hello, I'm Courtney Perna. Welcome to GSS Presents Punch Drunk. I'm here with one of my favorite people to talk to. He has such great stories. You know him as Mr. Fair But Firm, Hall of Fame referee Joe Cortez. Sir, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much for being a part of your show today. It's going to be an honor.
It is so great to have you. The first thing he said when he walked in, he goes, "Oh, you have my drink." And I said, "Sir, it is called Punch Drunk for a reason. We have cocktails, we have conversation, but you actually like Di Serrano, right?"
Yeah, it's a very good drink. And like I said, a couple of these really feel like you're punch drunk.
That's when I'm going to get the good stories out of him, let me tell you that. I love this drink, too. It's just so easy. It goes down so easy. Just like talking to you. So easy here. All right, before we get into the topic that everyone wants to talk about, which is instant replay in boxing and how we're enhancing the sport, I got to ask you, Wilder versus Fury. What'd you think?
It was a surprise ending because everybody felt that the way he's been knocking everybody out, 98% of his fighters.
Wilder, right?
Wilder, yeah. And then all of a sudden, it was the other way around. I mean, he returned to the Tyson Fury showed that he was for real. And, Tyson Fury had a history of a lot of problems in his personal life. Alcoholic, drug addict, suffered from depression. The man hit rock bottom. But then, in life, you could say, you hit rock bottom, it's only one way up and a way back up to the top. And that's where he's the king of the hill now.
That's right. And I love that about sports in general is that there's so many inspirational stories. So you're like, if that man can do it and he can become the heavyweight champion, like what can I do better in my life now?
Exactly. He's a good inspirational individual because of it goes to show, when you think it's the end of the world, no. You got to stop and rethink again and go back and say, wait a minute, I could change my life around. You've seen people hit the worst. And Tyson Fury was one of he was obese, like 400 pounds at one time.
Right. Yeah.
And he came in, he was like maybe 250 for this fight. The man really did a lot for himself, and the alcohol and the drinking and stuff from depression. He basically did it all on his own,
Came back.
But I'm sure there was somebody along the way that might have guided him, but he did a lot. He came back. So it goes to show that there's all possibilities in life.
You got to help yourself to have anybody else help you. You're exactly right. Now, I know you can't give me a lot of your opinion because you are now with the Nevada State Boxing Commission, but you can talk about the hype, the fans. Before the fight, everyone was so excited. After the fight, social media has gone crazy. It's almost as if heavyweights are back.
Well, let me tell you one thing about boxing. You have to hype up the game, otherwise you're not going to get pay-per-view event. You want to get the sales, so you got to hype it up.
It's a business, people. It is a business.
They're pushing each other the way, that's part of the hype, I'm sure.
But you should see us before this podcast. We do the whole nose-to-nose thing. We get up, we get in character. Right, Joe Cortez is intimidating when you're looking down in his eyes, man.
So you have to end up doing that, and otherwise, and to make it is more of a business today. But, that's why these guys can get $30-40 million a fight.
Yes.
I mean, when McGregor fought Mayweather, he made $100 million. Right. McGregor did. So, I mean, with all that hype and all that yelling he was doing to Mayweather, look what happened. He's a good salesman. Yeah. And Muhammad Ali is the one that first started with all that. Remember Muhammad Ali had the blah, blah. And it was good because he was selling the fights. You gotta be a good salesman to be a fighter.
I was gonna say that was the one thing about Muhammad. He wasn't just a great fighter. He was like a marketing genius.
It was.
And he was before his time, I think, as well.
Before his time, and he taught a lot of people how to do it.
Can you imagine Ali when there was social media?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, he'd be a genius, right? You got Armando laughing over there. Yeah. So, all right, we got to talk about the ups and downs of boxing, where we are now. But what I want to talk about is where I can get a sparkly diamond boxing glove like that. That is amazing.
I've had this for like 25 years.
Wow.
The glove, but you see my Golden Glove when I won the Golden Gloves in New York. You got these nice, beautiful golden gloves with a studded diamond. I don't have them on. They're much bigger than these here.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't wear them. I keep them in my trophy case.
I know. I'm a little distracted because I like sparkly things, and so he's trying to talk. I'm talking to a Hall of Famer here, and all I keep going is, ooh, sparkles. All right, back to boxing here. Ups and downs in the sport, of course. I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. So what do you think is the health of the sport right now from a business perspective as well as us fans?
Well, I'll tell you, back in the days in the golden era, you know, you had the great box back in the 70s. You had the Hagler, the Leonard, Duran. And, you know, it was just Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, there was just so many great fighters in a welterweight, middleweight division. And there was fights on Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Friday nights, Saturday, Sunday. There was fights all over.
All the time.
But, you know, boxing has its peaks and valleys. And now boxing, I see, is back on the high side now. It's on the peak and really doing really good. I think boxing, you look at any network you go on today, you put on your boxing, and you see boxing at Monday, boxing on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Boxing is definitely back. We have a lot of young talent that's out there that making boxing come back. And, of course, social media. Yes. Without them, I don't think boxing would be where it's at today.
It's so exciting to see that, to see all the fighters. And then, like you said, social media, you put up a clip of a knockout, it can get millions and millions of views because everybody, of course, wants to see that. Right. But we're learning more about the fighters, too, through social media because we get a little glimpse into their personal life, which is exciting. But social media may be changing the sport and making it better, but the sport itself is changing. This is really exciting, and you're, of course, involved in it. Of course he is. Replays. We are now doing replays in boxing. So how did that idea come about? How long has it been? Because I haven't seen it used in any major fights yet.
Yeah, we're using it now here in Nevada. Nevada finally come across to making it official, where now the networks that provide the commission with a table, and I'm the review official.
Okay.
And that's our official name, review official. We have a monitor in front of us. We sit there next to the commissioner, and we watch the fight. If we're watching the fight, something goes wrong, we have a chance to look at a replay. We put the headphones on, talk to the gentleman in the truck. He plays the replay back, or we can just see something, put up a yellow light. We put up a yellow light, notifies the referee that something is wrong. And the judge can see that that yellow light is on. It goes on this side of the ring, and then the timekeeper, he puts on the yellow light as well. So the judge can see this yellow light is up. If the round ends, don't go to the scorecard until the review is made.
Okay.
Once there's a review, then the referee may say it was a knockdown or it was not a knockdown. The referee say, I call it a knockdown, but now we see it was a slip, or the fighter got stepped on his foot, and it was not an official knockdown, or it was a headbutt, and the referee was on the blind side. And I swear, for this side, I hit my yellow light to notify that something went wrong that he missed, and he thought it was maybe a punch, and it was an accidental headbutt. We don't want the wrong guy to win a fight.
Okay, just because of a human error.
Human error, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing against the referee. Then again, when we call time, the referee comes over, he looks at the monitor. What we do, he makes the final decision at the end.
The referee does.
The referee does, yes. He's the sole arbiter of the fight, and we're going to keep it that way. And we don't want to overdo it with the instant replay. And not for every couple of rounds you put on the yellow light. No, we're not going to be doing it. Only for something major.
That's what I was going to ask, because you can really disrupt the flow of a fight if you're pushing that yellow light. You know, you're a little overzealous on that. So you're basically saying that, you know, if there's something that's missed, you blatantly see it, and it's a really big deal. Nothing minor.
Right.
You're not going to push that yellow button for a minor.
Right. A little low blows, a little below the belt. The referee missed it. I'm not going to hit the yellow light. No.
Because the other dude's probably going to come back and do something similar. Those little things even out.
No, that's minor stuff. But something where there's a knockdown, where there's a point, difference, you got to call a 2-point, 10-8 round because he scored a knockdown. The referee, and it was not a knockdown. It should have not been scored that way. So we try to make it right, make sure the right guy wins. But the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the director, Bob Bennett, is making sure that when he sits down next to the review official, they're talking about it as well together. And of course, we got the chairman, Anthony Martinelli, who's the chairman, who's doing a great job in making sure that we all follow the rules accordingly.
Well, that's the thing. You have the traditionalists out there that say, there's going to be that human error. It's really what the referee sees, and if they don't see it, then it should go. But how do you think it's helping the sport, even though those traditionalists are out there saying, you shouldn't do that?
It's definitely right, because the NFL has been doing it for, they finally fine-tuned it. It took them 26 years to be doing the replay. And just different things. And now with modern day technology, the cameras, you can see different angles better than you used to before. So now it's fine-tuning it down. We do the same thing with boxing. Got different angles, different cameras.
Right.
And we're trying to do the right thing. But I don't think it's making it any worse. It's making it much better.
Much better,
Make sure the right guy wins.
Fair.
Make sure the guy wins. You don't want a champion lose a title because of human error of a referee.
So just so I'm correct here, so you can kind of tell the referee do an instant replay in between rounds if you want. But if it's something that you need to stop right now, that's where the yellow light. So you can stop the whole fight in the middle.
The yellow light will go on regardless, whether in between rounds or during the round. But if it has to be stopped right then and there, the referee will call time.
If you see a cut and the ref doesn't see a cut.
Yeah, but we don't want to stop the flow of the action.
Okay, I got it. That's because I know that's what a lot of people watching and who watch the fight, it always disrupts the flow. But I think that you guys have been practicing for a while. I guess you told me this has been going on since, well, at least you got the job in September last year.
Yeah, we made it official last year here in Nevada, and but it's been on. We've been doing it for many years back east as well, but not officially like we're doing it now.
Okay, we're going to see it in major fights soon?
Yeah, it's already been applied. I did the Wilder Tyson Fury fight last week. I was working the preliminary fights as a review official, and we did it this past week with the Mayweather Promotions. At Samstown, we were using the replay there as well.
Okay, and you kind of had retired a little bit, and they called you back because it's Joe Cortez, of course. That's why they called him back. So how long were you out of the game? Because I don't think you're ever really out of the game, but officially getting a paycheck.
I retired officially in 2012 with Canelo Alvarez and Josecito Lopez as a referee. But I've always been involved. I've been doing my shows, the Joe Cortez show or the Favorite Firm show.
Yep.
And I've been active with referees, and I give seminars around the world teaching referees, which is something I enjoy doing. I think it's something that's needed to keep the officials on top of their game and teach referees to become sharper.
Yeah, and I think that you are just a really good all-around ambassador for the sport of boxing. And of course, like I've said before, I love talking to you because you always have such great stories. Take me back to little Joey. Where did you start your amateur career, and how long did it take for you to become a pro?
Well, I met a fighter by the name of Gaspar Indian Ortega back in 1955.
Wow.
Way back.
Wow.
I was 12 years old, and Gaspar Ortega is a gentleman who came from Tijuana. Him and his brother came to New York. They lived next door to where I lived in New York, in Manhattan. And Gaspar Ortega needed some help with the English language. I was bilingual, so I was able to help him out. And little by little, my brother Mike and I got involved with boxing. My brother started first, and then a year later, when I got started in boxing as a fighter, I was 15 years of age, 16 years old. A year later, I won my first Golden Glove championship with a sellout crowd.
Just a year?
15,000 fans in Madison Square Garden, watching my brother and I win our first Golden Glove championships. And we did that again the following year, winning the Open Championship, the New York, the Easterns, and the Nationals, and the two Spanish Golden Glove championships. So I was involved with boxing as an amateur. Then I turned pro when I was 18.
Wow.
Then I got lost my fourth pro fight. I got upset. I joined the Army. After I came out of the Army, I still was still involved in the Army.
I didn't know you were a veteran. Thank you so much for your service. That's fantastic.
Yes, it was. And so then I kept on with my career when I came out of the Army. And I was able to have a record. Boxrec has me for 11-1. Officially, I have 18-1 because the fights that I had in Mexico were not recorded back then. It was four rounds or 6 rounds were not recorded.
Yeah.
But I had an 18-1 record.
Don't skip out on his wins, guys. Come on, give him all his wins.
I just gave my friend Benji Estevez a couple of my fights the other day. I said, hey, look, I found this in the old scrapbook. He took him to give it to somebody with the box rec to make sure they could bring my fight record up to date. But it's been a lot of fun, and as a referee, I started in the amateurs as a referee, and back in 1977, 6 months later, New York State Athletic Commission, after watching me do the Golden Gloves in New York City as a ref, they said, don't waste your time in the amateurs, we'll turn you pro. I said, I'm only doing it 6 months. And Deputy...
Yeah, but you're Joe Cortez.
No, I was a nobody back then. I mean, back in 77, I was just starting out, and they said, Joe, you got the skills to become a decent professional. They gave me a shot.
What are the skills? I mean, because not every good football player is a good coach. Not every good boxer is a good referee. What is it that makes you a Hall of Famer?
Well, I don't know. I guess all the fights that I refereed,
Maybe.
I was pretty consistent with my calls in boxing, even though some fans hate me for some calls that I made in boxing. And I go along with it.
Sorry about your luck there, buddy.
I go along with the fans. I love the fans, regardless if they hate me or love me. I love them all. Without the fans, we're nobody. But I think that I'm just trying to do the best I can with boxing and try to help my colleagues and try to help the fans out there and to kind of educate them in reference to the rules on boxing. Sometimes that we make certain calls, they don't realize those are the rules. One time I had a disqualified fighter for hitting an opponent when he was on the canvas, and they said, Joe, but it wasn't that hard. I know, but the doctor told me to stop it. He said, the doctor said he can't continue. So, I had my hands are tied. I said, what can I do? I got a disqualified fighter. I said, is it because of the broken nose? And he said, no, because of the concussive blow behind the head. You got to stop this fight. Then the rule said you got to stop a fight because of an illegal blow. And the doctor told me to stop. I can't overrule a doctor. I told him, no, I'm going to let it continue.
Rules are rules, people.
Then the guy gets hurt seriously. He gets killed or gets hospitalized.
Right.
They say, Joe, the doctor told you to stop it.
You should have stopped it,
But
right?
anyway, so I had to follow the doctor's rules, but I get criticized because they say, come on, Joe, it wasn't that bad and whatnot. That people hated me for a fight like that, but you know what?
You can't hate this man.
It's that you got to know the rules. If you don't know the rules, you can't fight with
Read
with
the
us.
book. Have a cocktail. Relax, people.
Yeah.
Well, what was interesting is off camera, you told me that back in the day, you used to judge or score and referee at the same time.
That's correct.
That seems crazy to us now.
Yeah, it seems crazy. A lot of folks find it difficult to try to do multitask. And to be a judge, a referee, and enforce the rules. There's so much you got to do. You got to make sure everything is going right in the fight. So you're like the captain of the ship.
Right.
You got to control your whole staff. You got to make sure everything's running right. You got to make sure that you got to call in the doctor when you have to call him in. You have to know when there's a foul. You have to call time. You make sure you make the signals, headbutt, low blows, slips. You got to make all signals, everything that goes in a fight. There's so much the referee got to do. But the main thing is that you have to make sure you make the right calls. You're not going to be 100% all the time.
Right.
But the thing is, what makes you a good referee is that you do major fight, you're good under pressure, you're good on your feet, you're able to score the fight, and watch out for the safety of the fighters. There's a lot that goes on.
I would lose track of all the hits and blows, punches in my head trying to referee.
The guy gets hit, and you take a point. Was it unintentional? Was it intentional? When do you take points? When do you disqualify a fighter? When do you call in the doctor? There's so much that goes on. You got to be kind of multitask.
Yeah.
And it helped me becoming a judge when I was a scoring official. Chuck Minka, who was the executive director, sent for me back here in Nevada. Where I ran into him in New York City. There was a small show in New York City across from Madison Square Garden. I went there. I was invited as a guest. And when I got there, they said, okay, you're our guest, come on in. I said, no, I can't come in. I said, I'm an official. I got to pay for my ticket. We can't take nothing. No, Joe, you're our guest for today, Joe. I said, I have to leave.
You're such a good guy.
And I saw a sign said general admission on the back, said $20. I got $20. Give me one of the general admission ticket. And the guy, he gave me the ticket. As I'm walking away, I get grabbed by the arm. The guy behind me happened to be Chuck Minka, the executive director of Nevada. He said, Joe, what you did there just now, I wish all our officials around the world could be like you are. That's honesty. That's what makes a good official. Next thing you know, I get a letter from him in Nevada. They're pointing me to Larry Holmes, Michael Spinks fight. Not as a referee, but as a judge. So I come down, I score the fight. They're announcing the decision. I don't know where I was at. You can't keep track of every round. You got to just forget that round, go to a new round. And I had Larry Holmes winning. The other two judges, Frank Burnett and Jerry Roth, had it Michael Spinks.
Oh, okay.
And the people were booing. I thought, man, they were booing me. My first time, they were booing me. The commissioner said, Joe, listen, they're not booing you. They're booing the other two. You're the one that had it right.
There you go.
I said, wow. Yeah, so I felt like a relief. My first visit to Vegas.
So he's the one who brought you back here officially in 1990. Your hometown, Vegas, baby.
They were Dr. Dave and Dr. Elias Ghanem. We were in Thailand on a cruise for the convention, and they approached me there, told me, Joe, if you come to Vegas, become their resident, you'll be a referee. You can referee all the major fights like Richard Steele, Mills Lanes. I said, really?
Okay.
That took me about a year to make up my mind. They called me back again to judge again because I wasn't making a move. Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. Then they call me down to do a Greg Page fight. That's a referee. Then they call me again as a referee to do Jeff Fennick and Super Nelson at Caesars Outdoors. And I said, wow, I said, Joe, these are the kind of fights you're going to get all the time if you move here. It took me about another 6 months or so, and I made a move to Vegas.
And that was 1992, and you are here in my hometown, your hometown, and we love having you. Okay, one more question. So I'm a dancer by trade, so it's hard for me to sometimes watch dancers and not judge them because I've judged so many. Are you able to watch fights as a fan, or are you always refereeing?
I watch it as I try to be a professional at all times. I don't want to be a fan.
I'm talking about when you're on your couch with your chips watching the fight.
I'm not picking a fighter. I stay away from that because that's been my way of thinking as an official. It got to be neutral. So I don't have a particular favorite fighter, but I watch the work of a referee. And I watch the flow of the action of a fight, because you can still pick up different things. Yeah. And it's good for me to know fighters' styles and what habits they have, good habits, bad habits. In case I got to be officiating a fight, I can be looking and see what they're going to be doing. Or I can give heads up to my colleagues, my referees are working that night. Watch out for this fighter. He has a habit of hitting low. Watch out for his habit of pulling the head or the headbutts, intentional headbutt. There's a lot of things, so I help my colleagues with that.
So the answer is no, you cannot. You are always looking at it as a referee and never just kind of sitting back and watching the fight as a fan. You can't help it.
No. I want to enjoy the fight, but I want to also learning it and help my colleagues as I go along.
Well, I certainly enjoyed having you. I hope you enjoyed your Di Serono with us. Thank you so much. Cheers. And we'll see you next time on GSS Presents Punch Drunk. Cheers. Thank you so much for coming on.